Hello, so I'll begin by explaining the symbols of my writing system. So to begin, this this whole symbol represents the phrase 7 years ago. So this I invented a sort of writing system or a number system. And this is supposed to be 87, and this alone is 8, and this alone is 7. It's a number system. It's comprised of squares, triangles, and circles, and digits and numbers are made accordingly to the amount of angles that are on each shape as they're added together. And then this symbol alone stands for the past, but in years, which is why this altogether says so 87 years past, or like in the past. And then I implemented a lot of the rebus principle into my writing system. So this here is the symbol for creators, which is synonymous with fathers. This eventually will build up to the phrase. This whole phrase is meant to say our fathers brought forth on this continent and the nation. So this symbol alone is for our fathers, or our creators. And then these together are for our, and whatever is enclosed within them indicates what is ours. So our fathers, or our creators. And then these sort of branch-like symbols out here, they're meant to resemble arms, and they're meant to say like bringing, or like have or had with them. So what they had with them was, this here is a symbol for nation. But before I explain that, I'll explain this. So this is so this is the symbol for continent that I created. And it's rebus, so like on the continent, that our creators brought forth on this continent. And these symbols are supposed to represent like rivers and like untouched land, because a continent is a very broad term. So this is a symbol for nation. So they brought forth with them a nation. It's got this symbol down here too, and then this is supposed to represent a sort of flower, and then this right here is the symbol for it is the symbol for like a human, or a human soul. So a circle and the dot sort of corresponds to the soul. And when you put all these together, it's supposed to represent like there being man-made presences, like creations and innovations, but as they're man-made. And that's largely what a nation is. So this is the symbol for in. Now this right here, this means conceived in liberty. So this here is a symbol for in. And then this circle, and then the smaller circle below it with a dot, that is looks like this, right? But this is the symbol for creators. This is plural. And then this is the verb form. So create, in other words, conceived. And then this is my symbol for liberty, supposed to resemble a sort of bird. Yeah, so it's created. So this is in, it was created in, and then liberty is in there too. So it's conceived in liberty, or conceived with liberty. And we come down here, and this symbol alone represents dedicated. I came up with this symbol as, I was thinking about it. if you dedicate something, it's almost like you devote a part of yourself to it. So that's what this detachment between this line should be continuous, but because you're dedicating something, there's this sort of detachment because you're now like sacrificing a part of yourself to, like, you're devoting something. So, and then this symbol, this sort of looks like a cloud. It's supposed to be the symbol for proposition. Proposition, and or in other words, like a goal. So it encloses whatever it encloses indicates what the proposition or the goal or the dream is. So this in total is supposed to represent the line, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. So this is a symbol for all. Pretty simple. And then this is the symbol for the human, or the soul, and then with just a zigzag under it, that'd be men, and with this smoother curvy line, that'd be women, and then when you put them together, it's men and women. So I didn't want to exclude women from this part of the sentence. This symbol is R, and then this is a symbol for equal. So all men, so it's like saying all men and women are equal. So yeah. Okay, and then this is the symbol for present. In other words, now. So this whole line is meant to represent now we are in a great civil war. So as opposed to making new words for war and civil and great, I just meant to represent concepts with it's like, if they're very rudimentary. So I thought about it, like a civil war is just a division between a certain body of people and like their own kind. So this is my symbol I created for we, as in you and I. So and then this is a symbol I created for lack of harmony, or division. So, and this sort of empty space in between is supposed to sort of indicate that. So this is to say, like, we are divided, or we are not in harmony with ourselves, like amongst each other. And then this is my symbol for with. And then this symbol is supposed to represent like bloodshed, or losing life, because it kind of looks like this this symbol again, with like this the soul, like the human soul, there. But instead it's black, it's null, it's dark, and then like these dots supposed to represent the soul are like leaving the body. So it's like this symbol represents like bloodshed, or approaching death, and that's essentially what war is. And then this final line down here was supposed to be for the whole line, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. So so this is the symbol for in. You can see it up here again. And yeah, when you have all these four together, I thought of it as like that would be the word for testing, testing, or like when you're inside something and it's it seem to be pushing in on you, it's like pressure. In other words, testing, like, for how long can you withhold this or withstand it. So what's being pressured here, here's that symbol for R again, and then here's that symbol for nation. So our nation, being tested or being pressured. This here is my symbol for like the potential future, or like indicates like an idea, like something that is to come about, or this corresponds to the phrase can long endure. So and then this is a symbol for just endure. So you see the in again, and then the box in the center is supposed to represent like withstanding that pressure, so like, or resisting that pressure, in other words, like enduring something. So just to answer the other questions here, so how did I come up with my system? So I had other writing systems, other historical writing systems in mind, and also largely use the rebus principle. So the rebus principle shows up a lot throughout my writing system. And I sort of just started with very rudimentary concepts, and just built up, because what I notice with ideographic writing systems like these is that they're not really that capable, for lack of a better word, of creating such complex words. It's more so just capturing the simple ideas and the simple concepts. So I had that in mind, especially down here. And yeah, so what worked was definitely just thinking about it, as I was sitting down and beginning to create this writing system. What didn't work was well, I had many other ideas in mind, and I wasn't really quite entirely sure what kind of approach to take. So, just to be quite frank, I kind of just did it and just kind of rolled with it, and came up with what made the most sense to me. So what sort of constraints are there to this writing system? So I can think of many, and I thought of very many, like as I was writing it. But yeah, like for example, the writing system, or the number system up here, that could get, I could see that getting sort of messy. Also, you'd have to, some of these symbols are maybe pretty comprehensible. Others, or most, you'd have to learn in one way or another. Of course, this is not spoken, not sound based whatsoever. And yeah, so what advantages does this have over a sound based system? So in my experience, and based off of talking to many other people before, when stories are very visually based, or or when someone learns new information and they do it more so by sight as opposed to by sound, it sort of elicits more of an intense reaction. So it sort of plays in a nostalgia, or memories, or someone's own personal experiences and what they understand, because yeah. So what disadvantages does this have over a sound-based system? Yeah, you definitely can't, with a system like this. It might be a little bit more difficult to communicate concepts that are much more complex or nuanced, or more recursive. So yeah, it yeah, that's definitely, I would say, that the biggest disadvantage. Yeah, it's much more difficult to capture a certain philosophy or concept if you don't have very extensive uh you know vocabulary or grammatical system. um and yes, I would say, uh how could I uh how could I create new words? So you just uh you need to take you know various simplistic symbols and put them together. So it's sort of like the Bliss symbolic system, and even the Chinese writing system, putting symbols together to create a new symbol or concept or idea or message. Yeah, that is pretty much all. So thank you for watching.